Hi everyone, I'm the Plant Propagator and welcome to my channel. Today is a beautiful day here in Southwest Florida, and what I wanted to share with you is this plant right here. And this is a daylily that I transplanted from my home in the Midwest US. And the interesting thing about this is this daylily isn't supposed to grow here or do well here, but come on, look at it. I wanted to make this quick video today because you hear a lot of things from the plant experts on how plants will do in the growing conditions and where you should or shouldn't grow certain plants, watering conditions, everything. And I think that as long as the plant doesn't cost a lot and you don't have to be too concerned about losing it, just try plants in different locations that may or may not be recommended for growth of certain plants. Be your own scientist. Try the plants under certain conditions. This didn't cost anything. I have another daylily in the front of my house that is also blooming and doing really, really well. I did, just to be honest, I brought a bunch of them down with me, just cuttings. I just took a little section. I am a propagator, so I took cuttings of my daylilies, and I've got a lot of daylilies around my house. So I took cuttings of my favorite ones and brought them down here to see how they would do. And some of them, to be honest, didn't do well, but then some of them, like this one, acclimated, and it's doing really well. There are so many blooms out on this thing. There's so many blooms that are coming. I mean, look at all of the, I don't know if you can see the blooms, but more importantly, the blooms that are coming. These are called daylilies because the blooms only last for a day, so that's too bad. And then what happens with the old flowers, like on this one right here, is these will fall off, but they can be removed. The areas around the base of the daylilies, they can look unsightly because all of the flowers that after they bloom, they fall off. But when they're blooming, they're just beautiful. This is a little bit of an unusual daylily because this is a double. Most of them aren't like that. So it is a double flower, and that's the reason that I like it, and that's the reason that I brought it down. Daylilies normally take full sun, but as you can tell where I am, they're not in full sun here in Southwest Florida. It might cook it, I don't know. I didn't even try putting these things in full sun. I did have a few other ones that were in more sun, and the plants grew like crazy, but then they never flowered. And then they just got so big, I had to end up just taking them out. But this seems to have acclimated, and it seems to be doing well here. The difference between the growth of the daylily here and the growth of this same daylily as in the Midwest is that in the Midwest, once you have, and it doesn't bloom this much in the Midwest, but once the bloom is done, it's done. Here, this thing keeps on blooming. There are some small spikes that I can see down in here that are just really small that are coming out. So there's really an extended bloom cycle here in Southwest Florida. The other thing that I want to share with you about daylilies is that they're not known for their fragrance, but but they do have some fragrance, and I like daylilies that have fragrance. So this one's fragrant. So the ones that I transplanted here, that I took cuttings of and moved here, and I still have this daylily around my house in the Midwest, but the ones that are doing here, I selected them for fragrance. So this is doing well. I love fragrance gardening, and this is fragrant, so this is nice. You do have to get close to it, so unlike some of the orchids, you can't smell it from 10 feet away. Unlike my gardenia in a previous video, you can't smell it from 20 feet away. But there is fragrance associated with daylilies. All right, so the lesson today then is, if you can, try, you don't always have to listen to what everyone recommends to you. You don't always have to listen to me or or someone else that's an authority on growing these plants. You know, maybe it's good to start there, but if you want to try it, if it's not much of an effort to try growing a plant under certain conditions and certain soils, you know, give it a try. Right here, you can't tell, but these are roots of a Vanda, and I've got my Vanda attached to my date palm. Everyone else that I know has Vandas in baskets, and they say, oh, you got to water it daily. This doesn't get watered daily, and this just finished blooming. This has done really well. The other thing, as I'm pulling on this root, is that it went down to the ground, and this root's in the ground. I could probably pull it out if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. But this Vanda wasn't supposed to do well here, but if you look at the root system on this Vanda, it's doing extremely well. And so this wasn't supposed, and I don't water it. They say water it every day. Well, you know, I didn't do that, and it's doing really, really well. So try some things, be your own scientist. Just because somebody says, oh, that won't grow there, doesn't mean that you shouldn't try it. It might not work, but, you know, give it a try. See how it goes. Now, you know, there's certain things that are so obvious, like, you know, don't, you know, no boiling water on this. You know, don't grow most your tropical orchids. You know, don't mount them in the trees in the Midwest where it gets well below freezing. But, you know, you can try some things and see what happens. If you have a big plant like this, you can split it up into different pieces and parts and try it at different locations. With my orchids, a lot of times when I divide them, I'll try different potting media and conditions and see how they grow. And they do have preferences, but they'll grow under a lot of different conditions. You know, different conditions, different potting media, different things. The other thing is, just because I'm successful here growing plants a certain way doesn't mean that you have to use the exact same conditions in different locations, or even over there where there's more sun compared to over here. It's not going to be the same. So just, you know, try some different things and see how the plants do. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did and you want to keep on seeing them, it would help me out if you can click on like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. All right, that's all I have for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and happy propagating.